Divorce questions. This one, are text messages admissible in divorce trials or divorce hearings? Here's the specific question. I have several text messages between soon-to-be ex and I that I'd like to use as exhibits and evidence in court for my responses and counterclaims. Do courts allow text messages to be used to show his character, parenting skills, inconsistencies, etc.? Okay, first a caveat. I'm an Illinois divorce attorney. I'm licensed to practice law in the state of Illinois and not in any other states. Your mileage may vary, especially about the rules of evidence. They are generally similar from state to state and even in the federal court, but your situation might be different, so consult with an experienced divorce attorney in your area for the best advice. If you need a referral, please reach out to our law firm and we'll be happy to give you one anywhere in the country and in Canada. Okay, so text messages, are they admissible? Generally speaking, they are admissible in evidence just like any other communication, like an email or a written letter. Communications between you and your spouse would be admissible into evidence depending on the nature of the communication and the foundation that you lay. So a foundation are the questions that you ask and the answers given to get some piece of evidence admitted by the court. Think of it as asking the basic questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how to give the court a minimum of understanding about why the court should allow the evidence in and consider it in the first place. So some messages won't be allowed into evidence and some will, depending on the nature of the messages, the content of those messages, and why you want those messages admitted. There are rules we have about things like character evidence. So for example, if they're messages that just make him look bad, like he's calling you names or something like that, chances are the court won't admit those into evidence. Or it's a message that's self-serving where you just say stuff to him and he doesn't reply. So you say he's done X, Y, and Z and he never answers, and maybe it makes him look like a bad person. Maybe it's from a year or two ago. The court might find that's not relevant. The court might find that it's improper character evidence. So generally speaking, texts are admissible, but you've got to lay the proper foundation, and there might be a rule of evidence that prevents that text from being admitted. So if your goal is just to make him look bad with a bunch of nasty messages that say you're bad or he calls you names, that's probably not going to be admissible. But if he's making admissions in those messages, or for example, with respect to parenting, if you keep asking for him to approve of a certain doctor and he rejects all of your requests, he never responds, and it puts your kid in some type of danger, those messages probably would be admitted. Inconsistencies, you mentioned inconsistencies, probably if it's significant.